The better leader you are, the more significant your following, your influences. Law of the lead is a phenomenal law that says the better you lead, the more successful you become. Let's say, for example, if this is my leadership lead, I cannot go any higher than this. The lead doesn't allow me to do so. I'm just an average leader. Let's say I'm a 5. If that's the case, and that's how I lead, then the law of the lid teaches that your business will come under your leadership lid. So your leadership lid determines your level of success. Our tagline: everything rises and falls on leadership. Everything rises and falls on leadership. I didn't say something. I didn't say most of the things. I said everything rises and falls on leadership. Now, let's get back to the law. If I'm 5 as a leader, and I want to grow my leadership, I want to grow my organization, but since I'm a 5 as a leader, my organization will then be at 4, because the lid won't allow me to go any higher. Now, I want to grow my organization. What do I have to do? I will simply lift my lid from a 5 to a 6 to a 7. Simultaneously, my organization will grow from a 4 to a 5 to a 6. But I'm not satisfied. I want to grow my organization, but the lid does not allow me to do so. What am I going to do next? I'm going to raise my lid from an 8 to a 9. Do it. Again, our organization will grow simultaneously with the lid from a 7 to an 8 to a 9. That's how it goes. So, the lid determines, you see, your organization will grow to the size of your leadership ability. The whole concept that you can learn to lead, and when you learn to lead, the more successful you become. It's not a theory, it's not an idea, it's not a principle, it's a fact. And the law of the lid says, the better you learn to lead, the higher you lift that lid, the greater your business can become. That's the law of the lid. So, the question that I have today is, how do I lift that lid? How do I grow my organization? How do I lift my lid? For that, we're going to talk about the rule of 5, which itself is life-changing. I'm going to help you understand the 5 concepts that to lift that lid. Mr. John Maxwell demonstrates the rule of 5 with this example. If you have a tree in your backyard that you want to cut down and you have an axe, every day you pick up that axe and swing it 5 times to chop that tree down. The next day you go out, swing that axe 5 times to chop that tree and put the axe down. The next day you go out, swing that axe 5 more times and put the axe down. If you simply swing it 5 times a day at that tree with that axe every day, the tree is eventually going to fall. Now, if it's a big tree, it may take a couple of years. If it's a little tree in your backyard, it may fall in a month. The size of the tree will determine how long will it take for the tree to fall. Thus, you need to find your tree. What's your goal in life? What's your purpose? What do you want to accomplish? What do you want to knock down? Where is your axe? What are your tools? What is that you're going to use to go after that goal 5 times a day effectively? Whatever that is. If you use it 5 times a day, every day, you'll be highly successful. Let me share my story of chopping the tree. Chopping the tree to me, it meant studying every day, little by little, bit by bit. At the very beginning, I am currently a student of geophysics, so at the very beginning, geophysics was an enormous subject for me. But when I took bit by bit, chopped every topic, time to time, little at time, it became an easy subject. I saw the bigger picture of this. It started to make sense to me because I chopped at it every single day. Similarly, some of us may have this habit of studying towards the end a lot more than chopping it every day. You see, doing a little bit every day, is a lot more important than doing a lot someday. I repeat, doing a little every day is a lot more important than doing a lot someday. And most people believe in someday. I heard one saying there. Now here's the key. You got to figure out what the 5 are. You may get the first 2 quickly, but to find the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, it may take several years. This is about leadership. And if you can do these 5 things, the rule of 5 for leading, you can certainly lift your leadership lid. Let me give you the first rule. The first rule of 5 for lifting your leadership lid is lead yourself. The first rule is lead yourself. Before you lead someone else, you need to lead yourself. Let me put it this way. If you wouldn't follow yourself, why should anyone else follow you? I'm talking about leadership by example. Having the leadership qualities within you that you want to teach to someone else. Having the leadership values within you that you want to impart to someone else. Every person that you ever said I want to follow influenced you. And the most important motivational principle in leadership life is people do what people see. So when they follow you as a leader, it's not what you say to them that makes you effective. It's what they see in you. Some leaders just like to cast a vision and say, here's the great way. Now, people don't want to follow your finger. They want to follow you. Quit pointing. Quit talking. We teach what we know, but we reproduce. We are. I repeat, we teach what we know, but we reproduce what we are. So if you want to raise up some great leaders in your group, then the first thing you need to do is to be a great leader yourself. Researchers say that 85% of everything you know, you learn visually. The reason the first of the 5 is to lead yourself is that visual example is the most powerful leadership tool. The first person you need to teach the leadership values is you, yourself. You need to teach the leadership values to yourself in the beginning. The first person who decides to move forward is you. The power, the life change, the passion all comes out of living it yourself. And once you start living it yourself, people will begin to follow you. The second of the 5 is every day. Every day add value to people. Every single day add value to people. If you help others get what they want, they will help you get what you want. Why? Because leaders focus on others first. They focus on what your dream is. What would you like to accomplish? What's your passion? And for that, I have to be a person that every day adds value to everyone. Now, the big question is, who can I add value to? And how can I do that? So every day, I lead myself. Every day I add value to people. Every day I take that axe and add value to people. Now, how can I do that? How can I add value to people? Number one, value people. Leaders get in trouble because they stop valuing people. Number two, I have to know what to value. And I can only do that by listening. The great leaders listen. The great leaders listen, learn, and then lead. And number three, I have to make myself more valuable. If I'm going to add value to you, I have to keep getting better. Because if I don't grow, how can I help you to grow? So every day, add value to people, because when leaders stop valuing people, they stop leading people. The third of the five is every day I study leadership. Ern Nightingale says these words: if you will take 1 hour a day, every day, for 5 years on a certain subject, in 5 years, you'll become an expert on that subject. The fourth of the five is every day I practice leadership. I not only study leadership, I practice leadership. I stand here as the president of Music Society, so I coach, I train, I lead. I coach, I train, I lead. I coach, I train, I lead every single day. That's how I practice leadership. Before moving on to the last one, I'd like to revise the first four. Number one was lead yourself. Number two, every day add value to people. Number three, study leadership. Number four, practice leadership. And number five, every day I grow intentionally. There are places where others are ahead of me. In other words, I want to be around people who are better than me, more successful than me. You as a leader create an ambience where growth is a natural process. So now, let's do it one more time. Make sure you have it. Lead yourself, add value to people, study leadership, practice leadership, and grow intentionally. Now, when you go back from this seminar, don't say, let me tell you what I learned. Show them what you learned. Thank you.
Joshua was speaking, I was hearing a lots of noise coming from the back seats. So I'd request if you could just be attentive. The other thing, it's an honor and it's a pleasure to be at the Bahria University once again. Yes, I was here a couple of years ago as a judge in a speech competition, and it was a real joy, and I have the same joy again. The last thing, which is more important, where is Arden Joshua? There he is. Right. Aapki class hogi, theek hai? He only told me yesterday that I have to speak. And I was busy with some other things, so I could not prepare myself properly for this. I'm just going to share with you a couple of things, a couple of very motivational things, a couple of things which have happened in my life, a success that I've had in my life, and I hope that might become an example for you too. To start with, getting here, standing here, and speaking to you, the road has not been easy. I've struggled. For many of you, you wouldn't know that I come from a very, very humble background. A very humble background. मैं यहाँ तक कहूँगा कि मेरी पैदाइश या मेरी परवरिश एक ऐसे घर में हुई जहाँ पे ना बिजली थी, ना गैस और ना पानी. But it is only the hard work which makes you to succeed in your life. It is always some people in your life who help help you to succeed. And what I want to share with you today is never, ever forget those people who help you to succeed. Never, ever forget those people who have played a part in your lives. Never, ever let them down. And for me, let me share that with you. That one person in my life has been my mother. And I stand here today and salute her for everything that she has done in my life to make me stand here today. Another thing, everyone wants to change. There's a, आजकल तो एक नारा है तब्दीली का, हर तरफ तब्दीली आ नहीं रही, तब्दीली आ गई है. But remember, if you want to change the world, I think I'll stop. If I don't have your attention, then I'm just going to simply stop. So, if you want to change the world, you have to change yourself. If you want to improve this world, you have to start with yourself. You have to improve yourself. Never forget about the value of yourself. Make sure that you give yourself the most value than anyone else can give you. Be honest to yourself. Be honest and think about yourself. Be honest about the weaknesses in your life. It is only you, no one else. It is only and only you who can tell you that where you are weak. So be honest with yourself. And if you are honest with yourself, you will get to know that what is stopping you from succeeding. Make sure that you judge yourself continuously. Again, no one else can judge you the way you can judge yourself. You can lie to people, you can lie to your friends, you can lie to your teachers, you can lie to your parents, but one person that you cannot lie to is yourself. So be honest to yourself. Number two, I said value yourself. Number two, believe in yourself. Just believe in yourself. Believe in what you want to do. Believe in how you want to live, regardless of what others think about you. Just believe in yourself. The road to success, as I've said, it's never easy. The road to success is always a long one. It is always the hardest one. You will succeed. If you work hard, if you are committed, you will succeed, but as I've said, it's never easy. Unless you quit. Unless you decide to leave. Just stick to it. Just show the character that you can do it. Just make sure that the three things that have been a reason of success in my life and which I want to share with you today, the three things have been commitment, integrity, and a hunger to go ahead. Everything can be taken from you. One thing that no one can take from you is your integrity. Never, ever compromise on your integrity. Be loyal to what you are doing. Be committed to what you are doing again. It might not come very quickly, but in the end, it will come. Lastly, remember, failure never sounds good. It never sounds good to us personally. It never sounds good to our friends. It never sounds good to our parents or anyone who loves and cares for us. If we fail, it never sounds good. But remember, if you have not failed, you will never enjoy the real essence of success. Now, I'm not saying that you fail your next exams and then you sort of wait and succeed and enjoy but what I'm saying is that failures do come in life. Don't bog down by the failures, because if you have experienced failure in your life, you will then enjoy the real essence of success. Before I end, whatever I've said, whatever I want to say, when I entered this hall, I just read that, be you, be what you want. And I think that is it. Believe in yourself and be what you want to be. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
Thank you, sir, for enlightening us with your thoughts. I believe you miss 100% of the opportunities you don't take. So drop every fear, take every chance. We have someone in the hall that will be guiding you toward different stratas of life. I'd like to call upon Mr. Simon Malik, who is currently the first National Director of the Murray Christian School. He's also a prominent member of the political body of Murray. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. Simon Malik.
Thank you very much for your attention, and I hope it can continue for another few minutes, because I've got a few things to say. First of all, I would like to thank you all for being here, and I thank the people who have organized this for inviting us. It's a privilege to be in such a wonderful place, and I think you are privileged as well. In our old days, good old days, it didn't used to be like this. There was simple schooling, simple college, and that was it. But you've got the opportunity, you've got resources, you've got wonderful universities, which Bahria is one of them, to grow yourself, to look into the future and see how you can develop yourself. The topic of leadership has become more and more needed in these days. I wonder what happened 50 years ago or 60 years ago when nothing like this was available. Nowadays, you walk into a bookstore and you see all these dozens of books on leadership. You go to a seminar, there's all these counselors, there's all these resource people who are helping you with learning about leadership. I believe there was leadership in olden days as well. And how did they manage? But we could take it this way, that are we failing these days with our leadership? Do we need more and more education about leadership? Why do we need these? And of course, when we look around us, we think, yes, we do need more and more guidance and education about leadership. I'm not going to take a long time, but I'm just going to ask you one more question. Dr. Maxwell over here started off with what a leader should be. And what was the first thing he talked about? If you were listening carefully, what was he talking about? Vision, yes. A leader has to be visionary. Can you speak up and give me a few more characteristics of a leader? Yes. Yes, very good.
Desire to lead.
Desire to lead. More?
Selection of a path. Selection of a path to follow.
The selection of a path.
Honesty.
Honesty.
Have the followers.
Have followers.
Empowering others.
Empowering others.
Integrity.
Integrity.
Destination.
Destination.
Confident.
Yeah, we can go on and on and on. In fact, if we look around, for the last 50 years or so, there has been so much research done over this that there are hundreds of characteristics which they attach to a leader. And if we carry on, we can find out a lot about it. But one word came from here, and in all those surveys across the world, it has been discovered that these 4 characteristics are the starting point. And the first one was given from here, honesty. Honesty. Honesty is absolute essential to leadership. Failure will poison the organization and be a reason for the downfall. So honesty. Second one is forward-looking, visionary. He has to be, or she has to be, looking forward. And people are unwilling to follow somebody who doesn't know where he or she is going. So it's absolute necessity to be forward-looking. Inspiring. A leader has to be inspiring. To be able to take people to a destination. In order to bring people from a pit out into the open and take them alongside. And a leader has to be competent. No one will follow a failed leader. So, honesty, forward-looking, inspiring, and competent. These are the 4 characteristics, the starting point of a leader. Leadership is a process. It's not something you get at once. It's a process. You have to, just like what he was saying, you have to continue to learn. You have to continue to see the better after the best, as he put it down. The better after the best. So you are never content. You are never satisfied. You have to look for more. Leadership is the relationship between the aspire to lead and those who choose to follow. It's a relationship. People choose to follow a leader not because the leader's authority, but because the leader lives up to the expectations they have. The word honesty is linked to credibility and integrity as well. And a leader has to be credible. These days, unfortunately, we don't see that around us. All we see is a lot of bad said about the leaders and a lot of the bad done by the leaders. They have lost their credibility. So a leader has to be credible. So you can start off with discovering yourself. You need to discover yourself. First of all, in order to lead others, you need to know yourself. Just like Joshua said, know thyself. And how do you evaluate yourself? There are 5 questions you should ask yourself. Do I fear people more than God? Question number 1. Do I fear people more than God? Do I use up or build up people? Do I exploit people or do I build up people? Do I lead with integrity? Do I let people get close enough to me, to know me and love me? These are the 5 questions you can ask yourself in leadership. So, a little bit about leadership, just to get you thinking about it. That you need to be thinking and you need to be discovering yourself. One last saying which I enjoyed is, who is a leader? We can have long definitions, but a leader is who knows the way, who shows the way, and who goes the way. So you have to know the way, you have to show the way, and you have to be able to lead in that way. Thank you very much for your attention.
Now we're ready for our final speaker, Mr. John A. Jones. He's come a long way to teach us. He's come a long way to enlighten us. He's come a long way to tell us about his experiences and definitely giving us an experience we remember for a lifetime. A person whom I met yesterday, he kind of motivated me. We talked about our dreams. And today I stand here in front of you thinking, last night I kept on thinking about my dream and I kept on working on it. There were certain things that he told me. And believe me, whosoever is over here is not going to miss anything out of it. Please put your hands together for Mr. John A. Jones.
Well, good morning. Oh, good afternoon, I would say, right? Is that a bad afternoon? Let's try this again one more time. Good afternoon. That's what I'm talking about. That's a good afternoon. That's a very good afternoon. Is that right? I don't think so. You know, today we're going to talk about, I'm talking about the law of political leadership, the personal growth. So I'm going to continue with that subject that he started out with, and I'm going to talk about the personal growth. The big question is, does everyone have a potential for personal growth? Do you believe everyone has a potential for personal growth? Yes. Yes, and absolutely yes, resounding yes. Everyone has a potential for personal growth. The next question is, how do we recognize it? How do we tap into it? And how do we get to it? Is that right? Okay. So what are some of the gaps or steps that can help you become aware of the growth process? Now, as you're getting ready to graduate from the university, you probably have dreamed about attaining a specific position at your future job, or possibly run your own business. You have imagined of an income that you want to generate, a dream of a comfortable lifestyle. Who doesn't want a beautiful car? Is that right? I think what is your favorite car, brother? He loves that. What's that car that you like? What car do you like? Your favorite car? Harley. That's his beautiful car. A big house in a friendly neighborhood. Now these are all obtainable goals. Then the next question is, so what is a dream? What is a dream? I want you to pay close attention to this one here. A dream is an inspiring picture of the future that energizes your mind, will, and emotions. I'm going to say this one more time. A dream is an inspiring picture of the future that energizes your mind, will, and emotions, empowering you to do everything you can to achieve it. A dream worth pursuing is a picture and a blueprint of one's purpose and potential. A goal is a seed or the beginning of a realization of what you want to achieve in life. Now I want you to work with me on this one here. Visualizing the dream. You are here now, and you possibly have the desire to be a CEO of a company. You need to find a way to bridge that gap from where you are now and where you need to be. Begin to take action and start walking towards your dream. You know what you want. It's going to require an intentional growth to qualify or have the ability and necessary knowledge to achieve that goal. Only you and you alone have the potential to become the Chief Executive Officer. There's a law of intention and law of process. Preparation is a process to the position of a CEO or whatever job you may desire, whatever job you may want. When I was talking to Dash last night, we were talking about dreams. Now, Dash, if you come up and share your dream with us over there. Is Nala here still or she's gone? Does anybody else have a dream that they're working on? How about you, right here, sir? Would you come up on the stage here with me? Could we have a mic for him, please? What's your name, sir?
Al-Hassan.
Sorry?
Al-Hassan.
Al-Has. Give Al-Has a big hand for coming up and sharing his dream. What is your dream, sir?
First of all, I have a dream of contributing to the society. Of course, every good human being had a dream. And after that, when I think have to, if it gets into an emergency, you have to first defend yourself and then help the other person. So I have a dream of first defending myself and first like giving myself a shelter and then making this world a better place. For that, I've set certain goals for myself. I have goals like coming up with a feature film at the age of 24. Being a filmmaker, that's my short-term goal which I'm focusing on. And on the other hand, just like Sir John's, I am so new into the realm of training. I also have a dream of traveling around the world for the purpose of training, and that's all.
So you have two dreams.
I have two dreams.
One is traveling.
One is traveling
And then acting.
and filmmaking.
Filmmaking. Film industry.
Okay.
Alright, how does she do? Let's see yours.
Okay, I have a dream that might look a bit absurd to the world. I want to travel the world. And I've already started pursuing my dream. I've been to almost 4-5 countries yet. And my dream is to travel every country, probably possibly every country in the world, and telling the people back in Pakistan, or telling the people who are near me, that how it goes outside. How does it feel to be outside your country? How do you take your daily life routines? How do you go by outside this country?
So could we sum that up with a writer, a biography writer, or
Probably considering the life now, I'll be probably
Alright. So your dream is to be a writer about the country, about the places that you visit, and you were a filmmaker right here. Okay? Nice. For you, let me see if I have a ticket for you to go and do your travel here. Okay, here's the ticket for you. It's just $1, and they buy you a phone call when you're there at your destination, but it won't get you the ticket. But here's your dream. Here's you gotta come and get your dream. And you, sir, the filmmaker, you have a dream, and I'm holding that dream here for you as well. What is it that you need to do now is to come and get your dream, your ticket to your destination?
First step.
First initial step, he's got to take a step. He's got to have an intention. He's got to move. He's got to do something about it. He's got to move. He's got to take his step, his thoughts, his vision. He has to see where he's going. He's got to have a path, a destination. And keep going. By the way, you're not getting $1. How would you, sir? Filmmaker. I'm holding the dream here. What is it that you need to do to come and get your dream?
So I can see it in front of me, and I have certain barriers around me, First of all, I have to step out of my comfort zone. I have to come out. I have to come out from that comfort zone, and then I have my dream in front of me. I just have to simply walk and grab it to me.
So here are two things. A filmmaker, totally different dream. Then we have a writer, a totally different dream. But what was the common denominator between those two? They both had to walk. They had to initiate. They had to do something to get to their dream. It didn't come to them. They had to go to the dream. They had to go and see and get the dream. Does that make sense? So it doesn't matter what you got going on. You have to take initiative. You have to get to the dream. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Thank you for playing.
I reached my dream, but I didn't get it.
I know, I'm holding it still. I'm keeping it too. Does that make sense? Does that help you a little bit about accomplishing your dreams? Okay. So if you don't do the necessary legwork that we talked about, you will have an unfulfilled dream, an unfulfilled potential of reaching your goal. The next question is, what is an unfulfilled potential? I want to share with you a story of my very dear friend who recently passed away. We both had a strong desire to trade the stock market. We would meet each day at work to discuss the potential of learning about the stock market world to help us achieve our dreams of financial freedom. I decided to go to school without him. He always enjoyed talking about the potential of his retirement funds. Now, for the retirement fund, a little premature. Sorry, can you hear me? But there is such a thing as retirement, and somebody in my age will understand that word a little better. Do you understand that word retirement? Okay. So sadly, he never got to realize his dream or his potential to grow as a financial guru. The doctors diagnosed him with a terminal disease. So therefore, his desire to become a stock trader went with him. I decided that day to realize inner desire and potential to grow intentionally, focusing on a clear and passionate goal. Once you are in a growth mode, you not only meet your goals, you will always exceed your goals because you are continually growing. That's the reason you will not only meet your goals, you will always exceed your goals because you're continually growing. I love this quote from Jim Rohn. He was an entrepreneur, author, and a motivational speaker. I want you to write this down, and if you don't have a pen, just listen to it carefully. It's very important. You ready? You cannot change your destination overnight, but you can change your direction overnight. Let me read this one more time. I want to make sure you have it. You cannot change your destination overnight, but you can change your direction overnight. I changed my direction overnight and picked a direction to grow. I want the same for you. I sincerely want the same for you. If you want your life to improve, you must educate yourself. You must make that as your target. Let me ask you a question. Do you have a plan for your personal growth? Do you have a business plan to be the CEO of your desired or your desired profession? How many of you have a personal plan for growth? Raise your hand. I see two back there. I see one back there. You have a personal plan? All the... Hello? Can you hear me? Okay. All the way to the back, sir. Can I have you up here for a second? All the way to the back. You raise your hand there, sir. Yes, right there. Okay, do you have a plan for your personal growth? Does anybody else have a personal growth plan? Do you have a personal growth plan, sir? Oh, come on up here then. Let's have a mic. What's your name?
Hussein.
Hussein?
Hussein.
Hussein. Do you have a plan for your personal growth?
I don't think so. I haven't actually planned.
All right. So what is your plan?
I just want to travel.
Looks like we have lots of travel agents here. We have lots of traveling. All right. So what is it that you're going to do? What are some of the things that you're going to do for your personal growth, for your personal goal?
I want to have a good job that would...
Good job?
Yes, a good job.
What is a good job? job? What is the definition of a good job?
That would give me funded enough to, travel the world. Like enough.
It's a good job which will provide you enough income.
Just enough to travel the world, yes. Enough income.
Okay. So that would be your personal plan?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Then there are two things you want to do. You need money, you need income for your personal growth, to where you want to live, right?
Yes.
So that's what you need to do. You're going to write a personal plan. How are you going to get to that income? How are you going to reach that income? How are you going to attain that goal? Or the funds that you need to get to your goal. So that is the plan you're going to write. Make sure you have the vision of how you're going to write it, how you're going to get to it. Does that sound good enough?
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for your time. Is that okay? Okay, so you're headed at the university learning from the best faculty here. They know the subject. They have studied the content in depth before teaching you. That is the response. That's the reason you're here. You can say, I am a proud graduate of university. It'll be good with that, sir? All right. I have learned from the faculty who has the knowledge and know-how of the subject. Next time you want advice, look for someone who is an expert on this subject. I believe you'll have much better results. Number 3, the timing gap. It's not the right time to begin. That's pretty common too. What happens the longer we wait to begin your journey, there are higher chances of you not starting that growth journey at all. You will not be able to realize your dream. Your passion for becoming the person you want to be will not happen. You will have many reasons to squash your dream. You will have many ideas, many excuses. You know, there's never going to be a perfect time. I'm too busy, I don't have time, I have other commitments. You know, everyone gets only 24 hours a day. You will not get any more hours. You have to accommodate your growth with the available time frame that you have. Number 4, the mistake gap. I am afraid of making mistakes. That's a big one. I want to share with you a quote from Warren Bennis. He was a university professor. He said, listen to this carefully. A mistake is simply another way of doing things. To become intentional about growing, expect to make mistakes and welcome them as a sign that you're moving in the right direction. Number 5, we're almost there, folks. The perfection gap. I have to find the best way before I start. It's like how we talked about the mistake gap. I can't move out of fear of making a mistake. The perfection gap says, I will move when I have the perfect plan. Have you heard of that before? I will move when I have the perfect plan. The only way to test your idea or work an idea is to get started. Your project will evolve as you evolve on your journey of progress to achieve your dreams. Number 6, I'm writing up fingers, I'm going to have to go this way. The inspiration gap. I don't feel like doing it. This gap is probably the easiest one. All you have to do is ask yourself a straightforward question. Will I do it now or not? I hope your answer will be, I am ready to take action now. It's action time now. It's your action time that will make a difference in your personal growth. Number 7, a comparison gap. Others are better than I am. The truth be known, there's always someone better than you. You should
When we come on the first day to office,
I had a class in the morning as well, but my students came to listen to the lecture. But there was a portion of the lecture that I attended, and one thing that I have learned as a leader, it's very important to have a vision. And that's one thing, as he said, so I've learned one thing, as a leader of this department, it's very important to have a vision. And I can share part of the vision with some of you who are here. In Pakistan, there is no business school which has AACSB accreditation. It's an international accreditation that some business schools internationally have, but no business school in Pakistan has that. But we have the vision, in the next 3 to 5 years, we will get that accreditation. LUMS might beat us to that accreditation, but we are trying that we might be the first business school in Pakistan to get the AACSB accreditation. And the biggest beneficiary of this accreditation will be our students. So once you take a BBA degree, an MBA degree from this business school, and you take it nationally or internationally, and once it's accredited, the value of that degree will increase many-fold. So that is one of our visions. Skill-based learning is part of our vision, doing a lot of case studies. We have established a case study writing center at the department, the only university in Islamabad to have that kind of center. So thank you very much once more to Mr. Jones for coming here. Thank you to all, especially our students, for coming and witnessing the event. Thank you very much.
Now I'd like to call all the chief guests one by one to please receive the moment of appreciation. I'd like to call Mr. Simon Malik, the chief guest of our event. Thank you, sir, for blessing us with your presence.
Thank you very much.
On the behalf of Mr. Albert David, I'd like to call Ma'am Janet Robert to please receive the moment of appreciation from Sir Muhammad Ali. Now, our most prized obsession of today, I'd like to call Mr. John A. Jones. Please give him a big round of applause.